Hi guys, Miss Davis here. Hi, how you doing today? So I'm gonna get on here and I'm gonna make another really awkward YouTube video because I don't know what else to do with myself. Those of you who know me, that makes sense, right? So I have been thinking about you guys in my class, my students a lot, and I've been thinking about how I can make this experience one really like beneficial for you, how we can do something together while we're apart that's going to help you one understand the world that you're living in and realize that you're not alone and uh, do some educational things together. Sorry, my hair, goodness. um, that something that's educational for you, but I don't want to stress you out. So I know that lots of my students are in different places. So some of you guys are completely stressed out and by this whole thing and unnerved and thinking, "Oh my gosh, lady, you want me to do homework right now? Are you kidding me?" And I don't want to put that kind of pressure on you if you're in that place. I also understand that others of you are like, "Hey, this is great." I would love to do some schoolwork because it would help give me some sense of routine and normalcy, and I think that schoolwork would be awesome. And I want to help you guys out as well. And I know that there's a big portion of you guys in the middle who are like, "Yeah, I'm kind of bored. I would do some schoolwork if you gave it to me." I know that you guys have questions about grading and how that's going to work, but I don't want you to stress. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this online learning experience out there for everybody. Like, if you're a student in my class, great, let's do this thing. If you're not a student in my class and I'm a complete stranger and weird lady to you at this point, then great, let's engage, let's do some things. We're a stranger right now, but maybe we won't be after you do some of the lessons and write some comments. And the whole world is my school right now. This is kind of cool. So what I was thinking about was this book right here, The Diary of Anne Frank. So here we go. Um, I read this book before and I taught it with a couple of classes. And as things are happening and things are unfolding and sort of the rules of play keep changing on a day-to-day basis, I'm really reminded of this book. And I thought that to start with, that we could have an online classroom through YouTube that we could read this book and talk about this book and discuss this book and some of the things that you're thinking and feeling about how this character, I shouldn't call her character, she's a real girl. She was 14. She wrote this journal while she was in hiding during the occupation of the Nazis. And some of the things that she talks about, some of her inner thoughts and feelings, are kind of similar. I mean, at least for me, I've spent my whole entire life in school. Um, I started off as a student and then I went to school to be a teacher and then I went back to school to be a teacher and I've been a teacher for 18 years. So the fact that the place that is my whole life I can't go to right now and I'm not free to talk to my students and do the thing that really brings me joy in life is got me thinking quite a lot. So I want to read this book with young people. One, to give myself a sense of normalcy, and two, to let you know that you're not the only person in the world at different times that have lived in a crazy upside down world and full of uncertainty and a teenager thinking the same kind of things that you might be thinking. So here's my plan. I'm going to post YouTube videos and I'm going to read out loud from this book for like a few minutes a day until I get to a good stopping spot. And then I'm going to ask discussion questions. And if you're not a student in my class, you can answer those discussion questions and we can talk in the comment section below, and that would be kind of awesome. And if you are a student in my class and you, one, are worried about your grade, like maybe your grade wasn't so high before and you want to do work to get your grade up, I will post the same discussion questions online and journals and activities for you to do in my Microsoft Teams. And if you missed my video yesterday about how to use Microsoft Teams, go check it out. And then, I'll give you grades. I'll give you all the grades, all the great grades you want. And then And if you're feeling like I just want to watch the videos and think about it, actually have a copy of that book. I think my mom has one on her bookshelf, and I just kind of want to read it with Miss Davis. Cool. And if you're like, oh my gosh, I can't think about this right now, then that's fine too. Don't worry. So I thought I would just begin by reading you a little bit of the supplemental materials from the Diary of Anne Frank, so you can make up your mind whether you want to do this thing or not. And this will be my first video in the series. And it will be a series I'll post every day, reading a little bit from Anne Frank and telling you some of my thoughts and asking you some questions, and you can tell me some of your thoughts. Okay? All right. So, the Diary of Anne Frank. Discovered in the attic in which she spent the last years of her life, Anne Frank's remarkable diary has since become a world classic, a powerful reminder of the horrors of war and an eloquent testament to the human spirit. In 1942, with Nazis occupying Holland, a 13-year-old Jewish girl and her family fled their home in Amsterdam and went into hiding. For the next 2 years, until their whereabouts were betrayed to the Gestapo, they and another family lived cloistered in the secret annex off an old office building. Cut off from the outside world, they faced hunger, boredom, the constant cruelties of living in confined quarters, and the ever-present threat of discovery and death. In her diary, Anne Frank recorded vivid impressions of her experience during this period. By turns thoughtful, moving, and amusing, her account offers a fascinating commentary on human courage and frailty, and a compelling self-portrait of a sensitive and spirited young woman whose promise was cut tragically short. The New York Times called it a truly remarkable book, and the Philadelphia Inquirer calls it one of the most moving documents to come out of World War II. So this is kind of what I want to talk about and read about, and I'll read it, and you guys tell me what you think. So for those of you who were in my class last year, some of you were able to read Freedom Writers, and to watch the film Freedom Writers. And this book is featured in that film. The students in Miss Gruwell's class read it. Ava is upset by what she reads, but they read it in fits and starts, and they are so inspired by it that they hold a fundraiser to have Meep Geese come to their classroom and talk to them. And that scene where she talks about, and that really is Meep Geese in that film, she talks about how the best any of us can do is to put on a small light in a dark room. That's one of the best lessons ever. So I really want to read this book, and I hope that this little talk has made you want to read it with me, whether you're a student of mine or not. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day. Be safe, be healthy. I miss you, and I wish we were in school.